I remember laughing that night. Not because something was funny, but because I didn't want anyone to see the crack forming in my chest. Ayan leaned back in his chair, one arm resting on the table, the other scrolling through his phone. Sarah sat beside him, close enough that their shoulders almost touched. I was across from them, coffee cooling in front of me, pretending I wasn't counting the seconds between her smiles. "So," Ayan said looking at me, "you've been busy lately." "Work," I replied. "You know how it is." Sarah nodded too fast. "Yeah. He's always busy." The way she said always made my stomach tighten. I smiled anyway. "That's called being responsible." Ayan chuckled. "Or avoiding people." I raised an eyebrow. "Funny. I don't remember avoiding you." He shrugged. "Guess you just don't answer calls anymore." "I do," I said. "When I see them." Sarah picked up her cup. Her fingers shook a little. "You okay?" I asked. She smiled. "Yeah. Just tired." That smile looked practiced. Ayan leaned forward. "You want anything else, baby?" The word landed between us like broken glass. "Baby." I waited. I waited for Sarah to laugh it off. I waited for her to correct him. I waited for her to pull away. Instead she smiled. Not awkward. Not confused. Comfortable. "Maybe later," she said softly. Something inside me went quiet. I laughed. I don't know why. Maybe because silence would have exposed me. "Wow," I said lightly. "That was new." Ayan blinked. "What?" I pointed at him. "That." He grinned. "What? Calling people baby?" "Relax, man." Sarah didn't look at me. I watched her stir her drink like it was the most important thing in the world. "It's just a word," she said. "Just a word." I nodded. "Yeah, just a word." But my chest felt tight. My heart was moving too fast like it wanted to escape. Ayan leaned back again. "You're overthinking." "Am I?" I asked. Sarah finally met my eyes. "You trust me, right?" That question hurt more than the word. "Of course," I said. "Because that's what you say when you're already doubting yourself." The conversation moved on, but I didn't. Every laugh felt delayed. Every sentence felt distant. Ayan started telling a story about work. "And then my boss says." Sarah laughed before the punchline. She used to laugh after. I noticed everything after that. The way Ayan knew how she took her coffee. The way she leaned toward him when she talked. The way her phone stayed face down. I told myself I was imagining things. "You're quiet," Sarah said. "Just listening," I replied. "To what?" Ayan asked. I almost said to the truth. Instead I said, "To you talk too much." He laughed. "Same old you." Was it? When we stood up to leave, Ayan reached for the bill. "I got it," he said. "I'll pay," I replied. He waved me off. "Relax, baby." He stopped himself. Too late. Sarah froze. I looked at her. She didn't correct him. Again. I paid without another word. Outside the air felt colder than before. "I'll walk Sarah home," Ayan said casually. I looked at him. I was planning to. Sarah hesitated. "I mean," she said, "he's already going that way." That hesitation felt like betrayal. "It's fine," I said. Because apparently that's what I did now. We stood there for a moment. Ayan clapped my shoulder. "Don't be weird, bro." "I'm not," I said. He smiled at Sarah. "Text me when you get in, baby." She nodded. I watched them walk away together. I stood there longer than I should have. That night, my room felt unfamiliar. I sat on my bed, phone in my hand, staring at our chat. "Sarah, I'm home." "Me, okay. Sleep well." She didn't say "I love you." She used to. I typed. "Me, did something happen tonight?" 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. "Sarah, you're overthinking." That phrase again. "Me, Ayan calling you baby." A long pause. "Sarah, he didn't mean it like that." "Me, then what did he mean?" No reply. My chest tightened. "Me, Sarah?" Minutes passed. "Sarah, can we talk tomorrow?" I stared at the screen. "Me, sure." I put the phone down. My mind didn't stop. I remembered late replies. Canceled plans. Excuses that sounded reasonable. I remembered how Ayan defended her once when we argued. "She's sensitive," he had said. When did he become so familiar with her feelings? I laughed quietly. "Get a grip," I told myself. But my reflection didn't believe me. I lay down, staring at the ceiling. I told myself I trusted her. But trust shouldn't feel like this. My phone buzzed. "Sarah, good night, red heart." I typed. "Me, night." I didn't sleep. The word baby echoed in my head like a warning I ignored. I didn't know it yet, but that word wasn't a mistake. It was a confession. And I had just heard the beginning of the end. I didn't sleep that night. I lay on my bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the fan spin like it was counting my mistakes. Every few minutes my phone lit up. Not with messages, just time passing. Get a grip, I whispered to myself. You're tired. That's all. But my mind didn't listen. I kept seeing her smile. Not the shy one. Not the loving one. The comfortable one. I sat up and grabbed my phone. Me, are you awake? The message stayed on seen. Minutes passed. I typed again. Me, I'm not trying to fight. I just need clarity. No reply. I laughed quietly. Clarity, I said. Since when do I ask for that? By morning my eyes burned. At breakfast my mother asked, You didn't sleep? I did, I lied. She looked at me the way mothers do when they know better but choose silence. At work Hamza asked, You okay, bro? You look dead. I'm fine, I said. Sure, he replied. That's what fine looks like now. My phone buzzed. Sarah, can we talk tonight? My fingers hovered. Me in person. Sarah, okay. That was it. No heart emoji. No reassurance. Just okay. The day dragged. I noticed things I never cared about before. How often she checked her phone when we were together, how Ayan hadn't called me in days, how silence suddenly had weight. That evening I went to Zane's place first. He opened the door and frowned. What happened to you? I need to talk, I said. He stepped aside. Then talk. I sat on his couch, hands shaking. She might be cheating, I said. He didn't react. Might. Ayan called her baby. Zane exhaled slowly. And she smiled. That was enough. Zane nodded. What are you going to do? I don't know. That's honest, he said. But don't lie to yourself. I trust her, I said. Do you? He asked gently. I didn't answer. He put a hand on my shoulder. Listen first. Decide later. I left his place feeling heavier. Sarah was waiting at the park, sitting on a bench, phone in her hand. You look tired, she said. So do you, I replied. We sat in silence. Say it, I said. Say what? She asked. The truth. She swallowed. I don't know what you want me to say. I want you to tell me why my best friend calls you baby, I said. And why you let him. Her eyes filled with tears. Don't cry, I said. Not yet. That's not fair, she whispered. What's not fair, I replied, is watching you smile at him. She wiped her face. It wasn't like that. Then what was it? She looked away. That's not an answer, I said. I didn't stop him, she admitted. Why? She hesitated. Because it didn't feel wrong in that moment. That sentence broke something. So it felt right? I asked. No, she said quickly. I didn't mean that. But you said it, I replied. She started crying harder. I'm confused. About what? I asked. About me? She didn't say no. I laughed. It came out sharp. When did I become optional? You're busy, she said. You're always tired. Always working. So you replaced me? I asked. No, she said. It just happened. I stood up. Sit, she said, grabbing my hand. I pulled away. Don't. I love you, she said. Say it like you mean it, I replied. She opened her mouth, closed it. That silence was loud. Did you ever touch him? I asked. She shook her head. No. Did you want to? She didn't answer. That was enough. I gave you my trust, I said. You gave me excuses. It's not black and white, she cried. It is for me, I replied. I turned to leave. Please, she said. Don't walk away. I stopped. You already did. I walked home alone. The streetlights blurred. At home I sat on the floor. What's wrong with me? I asked the empty room. My phone rang. Ayan. I answered. Bro, he said, why is Sarah crying? I laughed. You tell me. She said you misunderstood, he said. Did I? I asked. Silence. You crossed a line, I said. It was a joke, he replied. Jokes don't make people smile like that, I said. You're overreacting, he said. That's funny, I replied. That's exactly what she said. Another pause. I didn't mean to hurt you, he said. But you did, I replied. He sighed. Look man, things happen. Not to friends, I said. I hung up. That night loneliness hit hard. I questioned everything. Was I not enough? Was I boring? Was I easy to replace? I stared at myself in the mirror. Get up, I told myself. Or stay broken. I didn't cry. I just felt empty. But inside that emptiness, something shifted. Not anger. Not hate. Awareness. I realized I had a choice. Beg for someone who hesitated. Or choose myself. And for the first time since that word was spoken, I didn't feel weak. I felt awake. I didn't argue. That surprised everyone, including me. When Sarah called the next morning, I watched the phone ring until it stopped. When Ayan texted, I read it once and locked my screen. I didn't explain. I didn't demand answers. I didn't ask why. I vanished. Zayn noticed first. You're quiet, he said when I stopped by his place. That's not your style. I'm tired of talking, I replied. Anger would be easier, he said. I know, I answered. That's why I'm not choosing it. He studied me. You're choosing silence. I'm choosing control, I said. The first week was hell. My phone felt heavier than usual, like it was daring me to check it. Messages piled up. Missed calls stacked. I ignored all of them. Hamza noticed at work. You've been early every day, he said, handing me a file. That's new. I needed structure, I replied. Or distraction, he said. Same thing, I answered. He smirked. Whatever it is, keep it. You're focused. Focus became my shield. I woke up earlier. I worked longer. I trained harder. When my body burned, my mind went quiet. At night it was worse. I lay in bed, staring at the wall, replaying conversations I never finished. You could have fought, my mind whispered. I chose not to, I whispered back. Some nights I failed. I sat on the floor with my back against the bed, head in my hands. What did I do wrong? I asked the silence. It never answered. Sarah tried again after 10 days. Sarah, I'm worried about you. I read it once. I didn't reply. Zayn called me. She came by, he said. She wanted to know how you were. And? I asked. I told her you're alive, he replied. That's all. Good, I said. You're not curious? He asked. I already know what she'll say, I replied. Concern without accountability. Zayn exhaled. You're learning. At work, Hamza pushed me harder. Stay late, he said. You're capable of more. I know, I replied. Then prove it, he said. I did. People started noticing. You've changed, Hamza said one evening as we packed up. Less noise. More presence. I don't want to explain myself anymore, I replied. Good, he said. Explanations are for people who doubt you. Ayan cornered me outside the office one evening. Bro, he said, blocking my path. You can't just disappear. I can, I replied. That's childish, he said. So is betrayal, I answered. He flinched. I said I was sorry. You said you didn't mean it, I replied. That's not the same thing. He lowered his voice. She misses you. That's her problem, I said. You're being cold, he said. I'm being clear, I replied. He scoffed. You think silence makes you strong? I don't think about you at all, I said and walked away. That shook him. I could see it. Sarah showed up at my door 2 weeks later. I didn't open it. I know you're home, she said through the door. Please. I leaned against the wall, eyes closed. Say something, she begged. I didn't. I'm sorry, she said. I never meant to hurt you. I opened the door halfway. You already did, I said calmly. Her eyes widened. Why won't you talk to me? Because talking kept me stuck, I replied. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. Don't, I said. She cried. You're acting like I don't matter. You mattered, I replied. You chose not to protect that. She shook her head. You're punishing me. No, I said. I'm protecting myself. She left without another word. That night I cried. Not because I missed her. Because I finally accepted the loss. A week later, Hamza dragged me to a small work gathering. Don't say no, he said. You need people. I stood near the drinks, quiet. Ariba approached me. You look like you want to disappear, she said gently. Is it that obvious? I asked. She smiled. Only to people who felt it. We talked. Not about pain. Not about past. Just life. You don't talk much, she said. I listen, I replied. I like that, she said. There was no pressure. No testing. Just calm. Sarah texted that night. Sarah, I saw you today. You look different. I didn't reply. Ayan texted too. Ayan, she's not okay. I blocked both numbers. Zayn nodded when I told him. That's not revenge, he said. That's boundaries. Some nights were still heavy. I sat alone, questioning everything. But the questions changed. Not, why wasn't I enough? But why did I accept less? That shift mattered. Ariba and I ran into each other again. You seem lighter, she said. I am, I replied. What changed, she asked. I stopped proving my worth to people who already decided it, I said. She smiled. That's rare. I wasn't healed. But I wasn't broken anymore. Silence didn't make me weak. It made me visible to myself. And for the first time that was enough. I didn't plan revenge. That was the strange part. I didn't wake up hoping their lives would fall apart. I didn't imagine scenes where they begged me to forgive them. I didn't plot anything at all. I just kept moving. And life started answering on its own. Hamza leaned against my desk one afternoon and said, You hear about Ayan? I didn't look up. No. He messed up big, Hamza said. Got caught lying about a project. Tried blaming someone else. I paused. What happened? People stopped trusting him, Hamza replied. That's worse than getting fired. I nodded slowly. Yeah. Hamza studied me. You don't look surprised. I'm not, I said. Because liars don't just lie once. Mr. Rayhan called me into his office the next week. Sit, he said, pointing to the chair. I sat. You've been consistent, he said. Quiet. Focused. Reliable. I try, I replied. He smiled. I don't hear excuses from you. I hear results. That means a lot, I said. He leaned forward. There's an opening coming up. I want you to be ready. My chest tightened. Me? Yes, he said. You. I left his office feeling taller. That evening, Sarah called from a number I hadn't blocked. I answered out of curiosity. Hello. I said. Hi, she said softly. It's me. I know, I replied. She hesitated. Can we talk? We're talking, I said. I mean properly, she said. What's left to say? I asked. I miss who you were, she said. I laughed quietly. I didn't disappear. You just stopped seeing me. That's not fair, she said. It's accurate, I replied. She sighed. Things with Ayan aren't good. I didn't ask, I said. He doesn't trust me, she said. I paused. That's ironic. She didn't respond. I'm scared, she admitted. Of what? I asked. Of losing everything, she said. I leaned back. You already lost me. That silence felt heavy. Can we meet? She asked. No, I said. Why? She whispered. Because I'm finally at peace, I replied. And you're chaos. She cried. You're cold? I'm calm, I corrected. She hung up. The next day, Nita approached me outside a cafe. Can we talk? She asked. I recognized her instantly. You're Sarah's sister. She nodded. I won't take long. I crossed my arms. Say what you need to say. She sighed. She didn't tell you everything. I know, I replied. Ayan wasn't the first, Nita said quietly. That hit harder than I expected. Why tell me now? I asked. Because she's blaming you, Nita replied. And that's not fair. I nodded slowly. Thank you for being honest. She's afraid, Nita said. You were stability. I smiled faintly. I was a choice. She chose differently. Nita looked down. I'm sorry. Me too, I said. At work, people treated me differently. They listened when I spoke. They asked for my opinion. Hamza grinned one evening. You notice it? Notice what? I asked. You're not chasing respect anymore, he said. You're attracting it. I nodded. Feels strange. Feels earned, he replied. Ayan avoided me. When we crossed paths, his eyes dropped. Once he tried to speak. Man, he said quietly, things are messed up. I stopped. That's between you and yourself. She talks about you a lot, he said. That's not my responsibility, I replied. He swallowed. I never wanted this. You wanted comfort without consequences, I said. Now you have both. He didn't respond. Sarah texted again. Sarah, I don't recognize you anymore. Me, that's growth. Sarah, I miss us. Me, you miss security. She didn't reply. Mr. Rayhan announced the promotion 2 weeks later. I'm recommending you, he said. Don't waste it. I won't, I replied. I walked out of that office knowing something had shifted. Not in them. In me. I didn't feel small anymore. I felt grounded. Ariba congratulated me when she heard. You earned it, she said. You believe that? I asked. She smiled. I see how people look at you. How? I asked. Like you don't need approval, she replied. That night Sarah showed up again. I just want closure, she said, standing outside. You had it, I replied. Please, she said. I'm losing him too. I looked at her. Really looked. I saw fear, not love. You didn't lose me because of him, I said. You lost me because of yourself. She cried. I thought you'd always be there. I said. Until you stopped protecting us. She stepped back like I'd struck her. I don't hate you, I said. But I don't belong to you anymore. She left without another word. I watched her walk away. No pain. Just distance. Karma didn't knock loudly. It whispered. And they heard it before I ever did. I didn't win by taking anything from them. I won by becoming someone they could no longer reach. And that terrified them more than any revenge ever could. The apology came late. So late that when it finally arrived, it didn't hit me the way I once imagined it would. There was no rush of victory, no sudden relief, no fire in my chest. Just a quiet understanding that I had already moved past the place where it mattered. Sarah called me on a Sunday afternoon. I almost didn't answer. Hello, I said finally. Her voice cracked. Thank you for picking up. I was busy, I replied. I won't take long, she said quickly, like she was afraid I'd disappear again. You already have my attention, I said. She inhaled shakily. I owe you an apology. I stayed silent. I know I hurt you, she continued. I blamed you. I blamed timing. I blamed confusion. But the truth is it was me. That's new, I said calmly. I was selfish, she said. I wanted comfort without responsibility. I leaned back in my chair. Go on. She cried softly. I didn't think you'd actually walk away. I didn't think you'd test me, I replied. She sniffed. I thought you'd fight for me. I did, I said. You just didn't notice. That silence stretched. I see it now, she said. Everything you did. Everything I ignored. I'm not here to relive it, I replied. I know, she said. I just need you to know I'm sorry. I nodded even though she couldn't see me. I believe you. Her voice broke. You do? Yes, I said. I believe you're sorry. Then why does it feel like I lost you forever? She asked. Because apologies don't rewind choices, I replied. She whispered, I miss you. I miss who I was too, I said. But he's gone. She sobbed harder. Is there any chance? No, I said gently. She went quiet. I'm not angry, I continued. I'm just done. That hurts, she said. I know, I replied. So did what you did. She didn't argue. Thank you for listening, she said finally. Take care of yourself, I replied. I hung up without shaking. That surprised me. Later that evening I ran into Ayan outside a store. He looked smaller somehow. Hey, he said quietly. Hey, I replied. He shifted his weight. I heard you got promoted. I did, I said. Congratulations, he muttered. Thank you, I replied. He swallowed. I owe you an apology too. I raised an eyebrow. For thinking I could take what wasn't mine, he said. I crossed my arms. And losing myself in the process, he added. I studied him. Do you regret it? I asked. Yes, he said immediately. Every day. Because you hurt me? I asked. He hesitated. Because I lost everything. That's the difference, I said. I lost something too. But I found myself. He looked down. I didn't mean to destroy our friendship. You didn't protect it, I replied. He nodded. You're right. I exhaled slowly. I forgive you. His head snapped up. You do? Yes, I said. But forgiveness doesn't mean access. He looked confused. You're not part of my life anymore, I continued. That's the boundary. He opened his mouth. Closed it. I understand. I nodded. Good. He stepped back. You've changed. I had to, I replied. He walked away without looking back. That night I sat alone with my thoughts. I wondered briefly what revenge would have felt like. Would it have been louder? Sharper? More satisfying? Maybe. But watching them collapse under the weight of their own choices while I stood steady felt enough. Zane called me. You okay? He asked. I am, I replied honestly. You sound settled, he said. I am, I repeated. That apology finally came, didn't it? He asked. Yes, I said. And, he prompted. And it didn't control me, I replied. He smiled through the phone. That's growth. At work, Mr. Rehan pulled me aside. You handled the new responsibility well, he said. I had good guidance, I replied. No, he said firmly. You had discipline. I thanked him. Ariba met me later for coffee. You look lighter, she said. I am, I replied. Did something happen? She asked. I closed a chapter, I said. She smiled softly. Without burning the book? Without needing to, I replied. She nodded. That's rare. I thought forgiveness meant letting people back in, I admitted. Turns out it just means letting go. That's a hard lesson, she said. It was, I replied. But it set me free. Sarah texted one last time that night. Sarah, I hope one day you remember me kindly. I stared at the message. Me, I already do. Just not closely. She didn't reply. I put my phone down. For the first time there was no urge to check again. No need to wait. No unfinished sentence hanging in my chest. I realized something then. Forgiveness wasn't about making peace with them. It was about making peace with myself. I didn't shout. I didn't insult. I didn't demand anything back. I walked away whole. That was my victory. Life didn't suddenly become perfect. That was the first truth I accepted. I still woke up tired some mornings. I still had days where memories showed up uninvited. I still felt a dull ache when certain songs played or certain streets passed by my window. But life became honest. And honesty was lighter than illusion. Ariba noticed it first. You don't flinch anymore, she said as we walked side by side after work. Flinch at what? I asked. At yourself, she replied. You used to hold your breath when things got quiet. I smiled. Silence doesn't scare me now. That's growth, she said. I earned it, I replied. We stopped near a small tea stall. You never talk about her, she said gently. I don't need to, I replied. She's part of the lesson, not the story anymore. Ariba nodded. That's a healthy boundary. I learned that love without respect is poison, I said. It looks sweet. It kills slowly. She didn't argue. Zain called me that evening. You free? He asked. Always, I replied. Come over, he said. I want to see something. At his place he handed me an old photo. That was you, he said. I looked at it. A younger me. Smiling. Trying too hard. I don't recognize him, I said. That's the point, Zain replied. You outgrew him. I had to, I said. He stayed quiet to keep peace. I stay quiet to keep myself. Zain smiled. That's the difference between fear and strength. At work, Mr. Rehan pulled me aside one last time before his transfer. You've surpassed what you needed from me, he said. I still learn every day, I replied. That's why you'll keep growing, he said. You don't chase praise. I thanked him sincerely. Sarah never reached out again. Neither did Ayan. And that was okay. One evening while cleaning my phone, I found an old voice note from Sarah. I almost deleted it. Almost. I listened. Her voice sounded distant. Younger. Certain. I just want us to be forever, she had said. I paused the recording. Forever needs respect. I deleted the file. Ariba watched me quietly. Everything okay? She asked. Yes, I replied. I just let something go. She smiled softly. You do that a lot. I've learned how, I said. We didn't rush into anything. No labels. No promises. Just honesty. I'm not looking to replace anyone, I told her once. I wouldn't let you, she replied. I want you present, not haunted. That meant more than she knew. Some nights, memories still knocked. I didn't fight them. I listened. Then I let them pass. One afternoon, Hamza clapped me on the back. You're different, he said. Better? I asked. Stronger, he replied. You don't need the room to like you. I laughed. I like me now. That's dangerous, he joked. No, I said. That's freedom. I ran into Nita once more at a bookstore. She's doing better, she said cautiously. I hope she is, I replied. You don't hate her, Nita observed. No, I said. I just don't carry her. She nodded. That's fair. Walking home that day, I realized something important. I didn't win by destroying anyone. I won by rebuilding myself. Piece by piece. Truth by truth. Boundary by boundary. The boy who stayed silent that night was gone. He stayed quiet because he was afraid of losing love. The man standing here stayed quiet because he knew his worth. There's a difference. One evening, Ariba asked me, if you heard that word again, would it hurt? I thought about it. No, I said. It would tell me everything I need to know. She smiled. About them? About me, I replied. Because now I know what I deserve. Respect. Clarity. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need closure wrapped in apologies. I walked away with myself intact. And that was more than enough.